Well, good morning. This morning we're sitting at Hong Kong Beach here in Vietnam, and we got the surf in the background and the sun coming up. And we're sitting with John Foley, an educator from Australia, and he's created a wonderful project for the children of Vietnam here in Hoi An. And John, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and the project that you've created.
Yes, Jim. Well, I retired about 3 years ago, and I decided to come to Hoi An, Vietnam, teach the children English as a volunteer. And last December, one of the 14-year-olds asked me if we get snow in Australia at Christmas time. And the reason he asked that is because they see Christmas cards all the time with snow on them. And they don't realise, because we're at 16 degrees north latitude, they don't understand what seasons are. Now, they wouldn't understand the way you get seasons in New York or London or Melbourne. And so I looked at the school globe to see how I could use the school globe to demonstrate the seasons to them. And I've built a model that incorporates the sun, the earth and the moon, and the way those three celestial bodies react to each other and the way that we see them.
Well, John, I've seen the project myself. You put a lot of work into the project, and I think it's a wonderful project. So what do you say we leave the beautiful beach here in the morning and go take a look at your project?
That's a good idea, Jim.
Well, John, I look forward to seeing it.
Good. This is a demonstration of the ratio between the size of the sun, the earth and the moon. This globe of the earth is 210 millimeters in diameter, and this globe of the moon is 58 millimeters in diameter. And on the same ratio, the sun would be 21.43 meters in diameter, and that would be the curve of the sun against these two. Every day the earth rotates on its axis over 24 hours, and that's what we call a day. So the earth is continually spinning like this, and it takes 1 day for it to go around once. Now, time zones are caused because, as you can see here at New York, it would now be breakfast time, but as the day moves around, Los Angeles gets breakfast time. Now it is midday in New York and still morning in Los Angeles. The time zones in Russia, there are 11 time zones there, and the people here in Vladivostok would be going to bed when the people around here at St. Petersburg are still at work. The Earth always sits at an angle of 23.4 degrees to its plane of orbit. That is, it doesn't change, and this white plastic frame always points that direction. So as the Earth goes around the Sun in the year, it always sits that way. Because the Earth is tilted at an angle of 23.4 degrees, in December the people at the South Pole get the midnight sun. At the same time, the people in the North Pole, above the Arctic Circle, don't get any sun at all. So as the Earth turns around, you can see that the sun is not shining on the north at all. The 4 seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth. In December, the southern hemisphere is closer to the sun, causing the long days of summer and short nights. At the same time, it is winter in the northern hemisphere, and they have the long nights. The southern summer solstice happens at the end of December, and that is when the sun is directly overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn, which is near enough to Rio de Janeiro. When the Earth moves around 6 months, the northern summer solstice happens in June, and that is when the sun is overhead at the Tropic of Cancer, which is near enough to Havana in Cuba. As the Earth moves away from the northern solstice, it moves around to September, where we have equinox. Equinox is Latin for equal night, and that is when the sun is directly overhead on the equator at midday. It moves around through the southern solstice and back to the equinox again in March for where the sun once again is directly overhead. The Moon takes 28 days to do one orbit around the Earth. A solar eclipse happens when the Moon moves in front of the Sun, so that it blocks out the Sun for us, or even part of the Sun, depending where you are on the Earth. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of the three celestial bodies and how they react to each other and how we observe them. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is only an introduction to the vast field of astronomy and science in general. I'm John Foley. Thank you very much.